in this video I'm going to do a few mistakes. I will come back in the end of the video and I'll talk you a little bit through the things that I've discovered after and how I've solved some of the problems. But that will be in the end of this video. Okay, so have a look first. See you later. Hi all, and welcome back to Rally Nord Overland project. Today I'm just going to do a kind of a short video. It's going to be about the heating for my grips. This is the Rally Pro Grip, and these are the heating element foils that I'm going to use. Now, I mentioned this in a previous video, but let's just take a look at what's inside the bag when you get it. Now, these are really cheap. I'm talking about maybe $5 or something like that. And they come like this. In the bag we got some electrical tape. We have two large heat shrinks like this, and then we have all these pre-wired heating pads. They are really like foils, and they are all made like this. Switch, got a double switch. That means that I have two different heatings, and also the off, and the wiring connections. So for those of you wondering how to use them, I'll show you right now what I do. So here I am with the Pro Taper bar that I mounted. Now the Pro Taper bar, and I'm sure many other bars, they come with this waffled pattern that will actually make your grip stay really nice fitting. Now I'm a bit worried because these are kind of sharp, and I don't want them to grind any holes to my foils that I'm going to wrap around here. So therefore I just had to take the file and just file down all these edges and all these sharp edges and smoothen it out fairly. Now the whole point with this is that you take your foil and you have to measure out where to get your wirings. I want my wirings to stay just under these controls, so I'm going to start with finding out where I want to put it. Now, wrapping it around like this, and this looks fairly okay. Now the kit that I told you about, it comes with its heat shrinks. The intentions with this are to just put them around like this, and then you're going to heat shrink, and actually it will compress all the heat element like this. But when you use this, it's going to make the diameter even bigger, so I don't like to use it. What I'm going to do actually is just find out where I want my wiring to start like this, and then the only thing that I'm going to use is the electrical tape that came with it. So I'm just going to leave it like this, and then I'm going to, wow, this was easy. Start. Oh, it's so cold that even the tape doesn't want to come off. That's how nice and warm and cozy I got it in here. So that's a bummer. First bummer of the day. You know, if it was just a little bit warmer, this would not be a problem. But okay, I think we got it. Now, I only did this one end like this, and I'm not going to do it here, because when I'm going to put the grip on, this will actually just tighten, and it will just stay like that. So what we need when we put the grip on, now I have the end cap in here in the bar, so it's tight. It's not going to blow any air straight through the bar and out on the other side. And all I want to do now is actually to make a small hole in the end here, and we are going to use some compressed air right like this, and we are going to blow it, and it's going to blow up the grip as we push it in. But when we do that, we just need to have some kind of lube to make it slide on much easier. So just going to make a small cut right here in the end, like that. Now I can actually put this in, and then I'm going to just rub some. You can just do like that, making sure the wiring is under here, because I want them to go under beneath the controls on the bar. And now I'm just going to enter this, make sure that, yeah, and we got it. That's how easy it's done. Now the WD-40, hopefully, I don't know with this grip, maybe I shouldn't have it on here, but I've never had any failures doing this before. It's actually going to tighten up a bit. You can see here now it's already tightening up, and besides that, now we are going to have some locking wires. There are 3 slots here that goes for the locking wires. I have some more than this, but that's how it's done. On the throttle side, there is a problem. Not a problem, but there's something to consider, because this is broken because I cut it off like this, but this is the throttle tube, and as you can see, it's quite a lot of pattern here, and it's actually not possible to get the original grip off in any kind of way to save it. And it's also not something that you want to have under your heating the foils. So that's why I bought a new throttle tube, and because these grips are 10 millimeters longer than the originals, I had to cut off some part of this to use with the new throttle tube on the other side. Now we are just going to show you. Well, as you can see, now we are at the throttle side, and you see this is the new throttle tube that I just mounted, and it's actually quite a bit longer in here, and that's just because I need to fit these longer grips. And to make up for this piece, I just cut off some of the old throttle tube, and I'm going to place it here just to extend this tube, and hopefully it will work out just fine. Now, got our compressed air, and just making this side ready like this. I'm not going to use the WD-40 this time, as it was a big failure on the other side. Now, I got to admit, I've always done it like that, but in some way it just didn't work out this time. So typically I got that filmed, but that's how we learn, isn't it? Now I'm going to do exactly the same procedure as the other side. Only difference I'm going to do is it's kind of a rim here. I'm going to make a slot to leave my wire through this rim, and we also have to take into consideration when you are gassing or turning the throttle, you need to have some slack on your wiring before you make a cable tie and tighten it up. So first I'm going to make a little gap here just to get my wiring through. Perfect. Now I'm just going to align my wiring into the slot that I just made, and I'll try to try to use my tape this time. I'm going to tape it onto the piece that I cut off here, and hopefully it will stay in place to fit the grip. Now, not an easy task, but it's doable. Trying to make it as tight as possible, like this, and hopefully it works out like that. Now this is perfect. It just aligns just half a millimeter from the bar end, so it will make a perfect fit for the hand guards. Now I did not have the WD-40 in this grip now, because I'm going to try without it.
Just have to recharge and have some more air in here.
Well, it's not going anywhere. A much tighter fit than the other one, and I guess that has to do with the not using the WD-40. So, well, part of the film, I guess. Show you how I feel, and we all do sometimes, but this is going to be great. Okay. So, new foldable mirrors, perfect. All you got to do now is just cable tie. Remember to keep a nice loose cable at this side, the throttle side, and the connections. I'm just going to put them right into the switched power output that I did earlier, and then I'm not going to freeze on my hands again. I'm just going to try it, and I'm going to tie up with some locking wire, and it's ready to go. Okay, ciao, and see you in the next one. Well, now that you have seen the video, I also explained some of the mistakes that I did when I did this job, and of course that's the first time it happened. This grip was totally loose. I can turn it around very easy, but the thing was that I cleaned off all the WD-40, dried it up, and the thing was that I actually discovered that because I was grinding off some of the waffle pattern, I was also making it very slippy. So when I turn the grip, I actually also turn the heating element. So that was kind of two things going wrong inside here. So what I did, I used some of this stuff. It's yeah, what is it? Kind of glue paste. So I sealed off inside. I sealed this waffle pattern on the inside of the foil. I curled the foil again, and I slipped on the grip, and now it's been standing here drying for a couple of days, and it's actually very tight. So only thing I need to do now is to have some locking thread on here. So it came out okay in the end, but now testing it with the power, I was starting to wonder why it doesn't heat up, and I could feel a slight heat. It was like, oh yeah, it's getting heated, but it's not hot, you know. And I was thinking about this because it really blew my mind why. And that's when I come to think of these grips, the ProGrip Rally. They are actually made of some kind of what do you call it, silicone compound, because they are really soft and really, you know, sticky. So what we know of silicone is that you can have a pot holder and you can actually grab hot cooking stuff with silicone. So silicone doesn't lead heat at almost nothing. So that's why the heating element has very big problems with heating the grips. And it's also like this, all these small holes aside too, so it makes it actually not that hot. So if you, I might do this, I might put on this original, or not original, but waffled grips like this, and they are more rubbery and they will actually heat up a lot more if I need it. But they are shorter, so well, you know, I already did this, so might going to keep it at least for a while and then see. So my bad, don't do these mistakes. Now I told you. So well, still hope you come back, see my next video. We have a lot of in store yet, and of course, get out there, get your wheels on, drive safe, stay cool. Okay, bye.